Hello there and welcome. How's it going? This is Mark Castillo, aka the Digital Marketing Warrior. Welcome to the Ask and Be Inspired affiliate marketing live stream, designed to help you get unstuck, produce results, and achieve time freedom even if you're brand new. I've been getting asked this one question a lot in a lot of my Ask and Be Inspired live stream shows. And one of the questions that I've been getting asked a lot about is, how do I nurture my leads? You ever generated any leads in your business, but you're just not sure what to do with them? Well, I'm going to go ahead and answer that question here today. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and I'll give you an illustration of how to best nurture your leads so that you can actually see conversions on the back end. So you can turn those leads into buyers. So without further ado, let me go ahead and share my screen and we will officially commence. Okay, let's do it like this. Hide that. Okay. So something that you need to understand first, in order to nurture your leads, you need to understand this basic concept. So let me go ahead and get my pencil out here. Let's see, line width. Okay. This is by no means a drawing masterpiece, but just an illustration to prove the point that I'm making here. So here you have your lead. And here you have what I call a thermostat. So this is on one side cold, and on the other side is warm. Understand that when you're generating leads and they subscribe onto your email list, you need to understand that these leads are cold. They don't know you. They don't know if they're going to like you. They don't even know if they even trust you. So when you're generating leads, you got to understand that these are cold leads. When you're generating leads, whether it be through paid traffic or any form of free advertising, when someone decides to become a lead, they are cold. So you got to understand this basic concept. If all you're sending right now are pitchy, spammy type of emails, or you're sending up follow-up messages if you've been talking to them over Messenger inbox, if all you're sending is just buy my stuff now, buy my stuff now, buy my stuff now, and there's nothing in between, then what will happen is those leads that you generated, they're going to just simply get out from your list. They're not going to want to follow you. So what you need to do instead, and let me go ahead and switch to text. What you need to do instead is, in order to turn your leads from cold to warm, you need to build a relationship with your leads. But how do you go about doing that? How do you build a relationship with your leads? Well, you can do this through value-based content. Now, what do I mean by value-based content? It's got to be content that's relevant to your niche. So let's say, for example, you're selling a weight loss product. You got to make sure that all your content that you're putting out there, all the content that you're sending out to your emailing list, it ties into that market. It ties into that niche. In this example, weight loss. So you got to make sure you tailor everything that you're doing. The message has got to match the market. Otherwise, if let's say you generated leads and you're nurturing those leads, but you're not exactly talking about the things that they're looking for, they're going to tune you out. They're not going to listen to you. So that is why you need to promote value-based content. Content that's going to be relevant to them. So this is actually number 1. And number 2 would tie into don't be afraid to be yourself. This is very important. A lot of times what I'll see in the affiliate marketing industry with a lot of marketers is they'll pretend to be something that they're not. They'll pretend to be this already successful individual that is making tons of money, that holds a title to their name, that has held big paychecks on stage, and they'll just make it all about themselves. They're propping up this ideal image that they think their audience wants to see, but it's not what their audience is looking for. There's a lot of people out there that have spread lies and deceived people. That is not something you want to do. You want to make sure you be yourself. Hey, it's okay. If you're just starting out in affiliate marketing, you can simply start talking to your audience about the journey that you're embarking on. Share what you're learning. Share some revelations that you've had. People will actually read that stuff. And you got to keep in mind, people don't like fakers. People are tired of being lied to. People are tired of following fake gurus who are telling them to do one thing when they themselves are doing something completely different. So you don't want to prop up a fake image because that can only go so far, and you'd be surprised how fast it can take when the truth comes out that you're going to see everything crumble before you. So focus on being yourself. If you have a certain way that you speak, if you have a certain way that you think, that you talk, you can tie that into all pieces of your content. Which leads me into number 3. Share your story. Stories are a powerful way to market yourself. Now, what do I mean by this? I'm not saying you need to go out there and write a big, thick novel about your life story. That's not what I'm meaning to say here. What I am saying is you want to be real and authentic with people. You want to bring them into your world. You don't want to be shallow, keep them at arm's length, and not be vulnerable, which is what you're doing over here. So I'll go ahead and edit this. be vulnerable. Now, a lot of people don't want to do this. A lot of people are much rather keep to themselves. They don't want people to know about their life story because all that stuff is too personal, which I can understand. People can understand. But you got to think of it like this. If you're running a business and you're asking people to buy from you, how are they going to buy from you if there's no trust established? How are they going to buy from you if you're not willing to be vulnerable with them? Now, I'm not saying you have to share every single little piece of detail in your life, but what I am saying is don't be afraid to be real with your leads. You got to keep in mind these leads are not just email addresses you plucked out of a website. These email addresses that are your leads, they're real human beings with real problems. They have pains, they have challenges, they have a story that they're going through. And how can you create that vulnerability? How can you expect them to buy from you if you're not willing to be vulnerable with them? Because you know what will happen when you choose not to be vulnerable with them? They're going to pick up that you're not trustworthy. They're going to pick up you're hiding something. And that's the last thing you want. So when you're going out there and putting out all of your content or you're sending out your emails, if you're not developing a relationship with your leads by bringing them into your world and being vulnerable with them, bearing your soul to them, then what will happen is it will make it much more difficult for you to get conversions. You got to understand that this is necessary. You got to be willing to be vulnerable, to share your story. Otherwise, if you don't, then you're leaving a lot of money on the table and you're missing out on the chance to get real with your leads. So these are the three things that you need to do. If you want to warm up your leads from very cold to warm, this is what you got to do. You got to build a relationship with your leads through value-based content, share things that are relevant to them, that they're searching for answers to. Give them what they want, not what they need. Number 2, don't be afraid to be yourself because there's only one of you. You are unique. Use that uniqueness to your advantage. And number 3, you got to be willing to be vulnerable. Share your story. If you don't do this, you're leaving a critical part of your marketing out in the open. And you're not doing everything that you can so that you can be well on track to getting the results that you want. Now, I get it. For number 3, you probably still have trouble with being vulnerable. I get that. But at the same time, you got to ask yourself, well, how are people going to buy from me if I'm not willing to be vulnerable with them? It's going to make them feel like you're hiding something. And people don't like doing business with people that they don't know, they don't like, and they don't trust, especially. So you got to get people to flip that around. Don't make them think that they cannot trust you or get the feeling that you're hiding something. You got to let go of whatever you've been told your whole life about vulnerability. Now, you don't need to share everything, but you just got to share the important things and the things that made you emotional about why you started affiliate marketing in the first place. You got to keep in mind these are real people with real problems. Create a sense of relatability to your leads. And what you'll find is over time, your leads will warm up to you. They'll start to know you more. They'll start to like you more. And most importantly, they'll start to trust you more. Now, nobody knows when exactly leads will convert into buyers. Nobody knows. For some people, it will take a short amount of time. For some people, for some others, it's going to take longer. But whatever the exact time frame it will take, well, nobody knows. But this is why, and I'll add this as number 4, show up for them every day. Which this means be consistent in putting out content. Okay, so let me go ahead and magnify this here. Okay. So you got to show up for them every day. What that means is you got to be consistent in putting out content every single day. What I will see people do typically is they'll start off pretty good, but then they'll stop. They'll stop for a long period of time. And I used to be one of these people before, which there were times where I didn't post for a long period of time. And when I got back started again, I realized I had to start from ground zero. You got to be sure, if you want your leads to convert, you got to be consistent in putting out the content that's relevant to them, content that they're looking for. And you got to do that consistently over time. Otherwise, if you stop, there's no chance of results happening. Now, by being consistent, you will raise your chances of getting the results that you're looking for. Now, I know you might be tempted to turn around and say, well, I'm doing all this work, but I'm not seeing results. Nothing's happening. This doesn't work. You got to keep in mind, building an affiliate marketing business is for the long term. This ain't a regular job, which you can typically get, like say a customer service job, which you show up to work and then within like the next 2 weeks, you get a paycheck. It doesn't work like that. You don't get paid by the hour like an employee. You get paid by the value you bring to the table. Now, if you don't show up every day, you're going to lose those chances of turning those leads you have, the leads that you have generated, into buyers. And you got to let go of that expectation to see sales up front. You got to let that go. It's not going to serve you well. And you got to focus on the revenue producing activities. You got to focus on the work, because doing the work is what's going to help you get the results. So by showing up for your leads every single day, by putting out content that they're looking for, you're only moving your leads just a little bit further more until they get all the way to the other side. So look at it like this. Think of it like every day that you send out an email, for example. This is what you're doing with your leads. You're moving them a little bit more. and then a little bit more the next day, a little bit more the day after. And then pretty soon, once you see these texts go up every little bit of time, and before you know it, they'll be all the way over here. When they get to the warmer side, that's when they'll be open to buying from you because they know you, they like you, and they trust you more than enough to do business with you. This is how you build a relationship with your leads and turn them into buyers. Now, if you're not following this to a T, even on the days you don't see anything happen, you're hurting your overall progress that you can be making right now in your affiliate marketing business. Leads are not just email addresses that you collect in your autoresponder. These are real human beings with problems, with stories, with pains and challenges. They are people that are looking for answers to their problems. Will you be the one that they end up following? Now, if you don't do any of this, none of that will be possible. But if you practice doing this right now, you do this to a T, you will find that they will follow you. And before you know it, they'll do business with you. Okay, so let me go ahead and hop back off here. Stop sharing my screen. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take a quick sip of water, and I'll dive into the next segment, which is questions. I had a couple questions that came in prior to this live stream episode. So after get a quick sip of water, I'll go ahead and answer those questions. Okay, question time. Ron asked, how can businesses measure the success of their email marketing efforts? Study your numbers. So you got to make sure that whatever autoresponder service you're using for your business, you got to look at your numbers, particularly 3 things: your opens, your clicks, and your conversions. The most important metric that you want to look out for is your opens. You got to focus on getting good open rates. If all you're getting right now is 5%, 2% open rates, you got to change the way that you're writing your emails. And you got to boost that higher to at least 15% or higher. Now, if you're not quite there yet, don't worry about it. You got to focus on getting good at writing copy so that you can boost your numbers up. Also, continue building your list, your email list of subscribers, so that your numbers can do better. But you want to focus on getting good open rates first, because if you don't get good open rates, the other 2 metrics are not going to matter. To get those good numbers of click-throughs and conversions, you got to focus on boosting up your open rate first. So if you haven't been successful with your email marketing campaigns, if your open rates have been sucking, you got to change something. You either got to change the copy of your email, which that could be it, and you got to make sure that you're regularly adding and cleaning up your email list. Now, if you need help with writing emails, let me know, because I'm a freelance copywriter that can write your emails for you, so that in case you suck at writing, I can do the writing for you. So keep that in mind going forward. Sydney asks, how can personalization in email marketing improve your numbers? So, Sydney, if you've been watching this episode, you will know that I covered this earlier on, but I'll go ahead and mention it here. Personalization in your email messages can improve your numbers by nurturing a relationship with your email list. As I mentioned earlier, your leads are real human beings with real problems. They have pains and challenges, and they have their own story that they're going through. By getting personal with them, you're bringing them into your world, and they get to know you, and pretty soon they'll get to like you. And when the timing is right for them, they'll trust you more than enough to buy from you. But if you're leaving that part out of, and let's say all the kinds of emails that you're sending are buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff now, that's not being an email marketer. You're going to hurt your opens that way. And you're not going to get the level of results that you want. So by being personal with your email list, you're going to be getting that relationship rapport building going for you. And if you're being consistent with it over time, you will see your results improve. Okay, so if there's any more questions that you'd like me to cover, now is the time to ask them. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and wrap this up. Okay, I don't see any more questions coming in. I trust you got a ton of value out of this live stream. And if you did, I invite you to join me on the journey of achieving time freedom through affiliate marketing. I've got a very special promotion I'm doing as a part of my Independence Day special, which I've been running since the beginning of July. And if you've been struggling with affiliate marketing, knowing exactly what to do, I'd like for you to pay close attention to what I'm going to mention here. I'm running a Independence Day special for my business. Now, if you've been struggling and you want some extra help, I've got some bonuses that when you sign up with me, you'll get access to for free. So this is what I would like you to do. I'll leave a link down below this video so that you can go ahead and check out all the details in the post that I put up as a part of my Independence Day special. And make sure that you lock in your spot as soon as possible. I don't know when exactly I'll be running a promotion like this again. So if you've been on the fence and you've been struggling so much to get affiliate marketing going or to get to where you want to be as far as your business is concerned, now is the time to act. So let me know how I can be of service to you on your journey to business success, and I will gladly point you in the right direction. With that said, this is Mark Castillo, aka the Digital Marketing Warrior. Thank you for joining me in on this live stream episode. Have an amazing day, wherever you may be, whatever time zone that you're watching this from, and I'll see you on the next one very soon. Take care, and all the absolute best.